What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This afternoon I'm catching up with a mate of mine, Ashish, who has got an incredibly tidy FG MK2 F6 in Kinectic Blue, which is actually my favorite color for the F6s. It's just super clean example too. Makes over 600 horsepower on the 85. We're going to find out more about it. I actually don't know too much about it. I've only met him a handful of times, but it's a car I've sort of had my eye on for quite a while because it is so clean, and it's just, he's done it really well. It's a clean example. So I found a cool spot to get a few shots for the interim, and yeah, I'll show you guys more once he rocks up. I do also have a new mic setup, full pro mode. So I've got the Rode mic set up. We'll see how that runs. I don't know what the sound quality is going to be like. It's going to be my first time running with it, and yeah, hopefully we can get better interviews with it. Finally inside this car after what would it be, about 3+ years that I've seen this thing getting around. It's actually my first time in it. Yeah. And it's definitely nice. I actually got to say, even though I've got the F6E, the F6 seats are definitely better than the F6E, because the F6E, if you didn't know, is just a base model seat, it's just with an embossed headrest, so you do actually get better seats in an F6. But yeah, anyway, so just thought we'd do a ride along this afternoon because it is such a clean example. So what's going on with the car, man? Tell us, give us the rundown.
So it's a 2012 F6 FG MK2. Bought it when we're now
5 years ago.
5 years ago, yeah. Bought it in 2016. Been just putting in time and money into it ever since. It's my lovely little money pit.
So you bought it completely stock?
Yeah, completely stock. Like this old guy in Scarborough who just bought it because he wanted an FPV. Yep. It was his work car, funnily enough, and yeah, no, he just completely stock, used it every day as like a daily driver. Yeah. And then I bought it with the same intentions that I wasn't going to really modify it too much. Yeah. That went out the window.
Because you think, I don't know about you, but like when I first bought my BF, for example, you think, oh, it's going to be fast enough. Yep. And then you start booting it and you realise you want more. Yeah. Especially if you start going roll racing or anything like that, and you start seeing on the internet. Yeah. Like,
it was like the first time I drove it, I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like it's so powerful. Because my car before that I had a BF XR8.
Oh, did you?
And yeah, and it was just like obviously chalk and cheese between that and this. And like my first turbo car, I was just insanely impressed with how it like picked up and how it went. But then yeah, like you said, as soon as you go in a mate's car who's faster or see other cars on the road, you're like, oh fuck, I want something a little bit more. Yeah. And yeah, and then ever since then, just pretty much. It's where it's at now, so it's just over 520 renewable kilowatts on the 85.
That's kilowatts.
Kilowatts, yep, on the 85, so just a bit over 700. Obviously, when I take it to roll racing or down to banana drags, then I'm obviously on the 85. But yeah.
No, are you on flexible, or do you have to like do the full swap over?
No, so I switch over. So it's on PCM tech. It used to be on the SCT flash tuner, but then I got PCM tech because it's much better. Yep, definitely. But yeah, I drain the tank down to about 10-15 k's of range and then I swap it over. Servo.
So do you have to sort of baby it for like half a tank? Do you half fill it and then do it, or?
Yeah, well, I just fill the full tank and kind of, I give it like I'm not going to boot it in the first probably, I would say like 40-50 k's of driving. And then it's like kind of fair game. But I've never like had an issue, and I've spoke to my tuner, to Rob, about it, and he was pretty comfortable that it's fine as long as you kind of don't just, as soon as you change over, give it a boot full straight away.
You're right, and it's all tuned by Monster Torque.
Yeah, tuned by Monster Torque.
So you've taken it there the whole time, or?
Whole time, yeah. First time, first thing I ever did, was literally went there about 2 weeks after I bought it, just to see him and see what the first kind of round of things I could do is. So like, literally within a couple months of owning it, I booked it in, got just like injectors and the basic stuff done. Yep. And then obviously it just went from there. So now the whole fuel system's done, obviously full exhaust, all the kind of bolt-ons you can expect. A Gen 2 Pro Boost turbo, so it's a Garrett GDX Gen 2 sent to Pro Boost over East and then modified, and then
is it still is it a 64 or what is it?
Yeah, it's a 64. Yeah.
Yep.
And it runs an external wastegate, obviously 50mm Gen 2 wastegate. So yeah, it's good. Definitely, it's a good daily driver. Like I do daily it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, right.
It's quiet and refined when you need it to be, and then you can give it a boot full and it's suddenly the loudest in the world. Yeah, it does. It sounds good when it like.
That's moving. That is moving. I'm too used to my slug, man. So you said it's got the Pro Boost Turbo. What else does it have? What supporting mods do you have?
So in terms of supporting mods, it's got obviously aftermarket injectors for the fuel system. It's got
1000cc?
Yeah, 1000cc, which is currently the limiting factor of where it's at. If I wanted to dial it up a little bit more, that's definitely where the limit's coming from in terms of fuel.
Yep.
It's got a process surge tank with twin 525s external. And it's got a 460 in tank pump as well.
Yep.
And then in terms of driveline, it's just got a billet tail shaft, and a flex plate. That's pretty much it. Stock gearbox.
Stock ZF.
Stock gearbox, yep. A lot of people like to remind me that it's going to blow up at any minute, but so far so good. Luckily it hasn't had any flaring issues or anything like that.
Well, as we know, there's quite a few things that go into that, right?
Yeah.
One being how you look after it, how you drive it, how you service it, and of course how it's tuned.
It's definitely the next thing though. The box will get done sometime this year, because I have a spare one sitting at home, which will be built shortly. So I've got 2 spare gearboxes at home. 2? Yeah, 2. One for if it blows up at any point, and then one for being built later in the year. So
are you going to go like 6R80, or are you going to go? What are you
6R80. Yep.
Because for me, if you're going to do it, you do it right. That way, do it once, do it right. You know it's done. It's going to withstand over 1,000 horsepower, as has been proven.
Yep.
All the big cars from Monster Talk are running that same auto, and they're all still holding together. Noise.
And I think in terms of drivability, that's what I wanted to go. I didn't want to go TH 400 or anything like that. I think just keeping a 6-speed ZF would be nice for the road, because I still plan on driving it.
It's a daily, as you said.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Then in terms of other supporting mods, so it's obviously got full exhaust and stuff like that. Nothing like out of the ordinary, just an X-Force 4-inch all the way through. And like I said, external wastegate, so the 50mm external gate.
Yep.
And yeah, like it's coilovers and rims, and that's pretty much
So what coilovers are you running?
So it's running the Shockworks coilovers. So
I was going to say, it feels pretty good, like it feels pretty planted.
Yeah, no, I rate those coilovers over like a few of the other ones that I've tried out as well. Like I've actually personally tried 2 or 3 different brands of coilovers.
Yep.
And I've just, the Shockworks ones, like to me, the best ones by far. Like it's
for me, they're actually designed for this car specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
So they know exactly what weight it is. They even go down to the model with Shockworks. It's definitely the way to go if you're going to go coilovers. You can have your preference, that's fine, that's totally fine. But honestly, if I was to go coilovers, I'd be going Shockworks as well. So.
And then the rim side, I literally just got a new pair of rims less than a month ago.
Which look killer, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. So they're a pair of their work Kiwamis. So just got made over in Japan, and they're bronze color, which I wanted to change it up from black that I had before because.
I like the black. He had Vittini Magics as well.
Yep.
I remember the first time I saw it was actually at a Macca's car park.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, Vittini Magics, that's really good. And then when I got mine, I low-key hated every time I saw this car because I'm like, I just hate that people have the same rims. So I actually like that you've changed them, and they suit the car better anyway.
Yeah, I prefer them. They definitely look a bit better. They suit a bit better. Went down a size. I had 20s before, and now I'm on 19s.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to, like I said,
get more tyre on it.
Get more tyre on it. Yeah, and like everyday driving, I just wanted to kind of sit good and look nice, and then when I go down to any track event anyway, I put the radials on it, so it's not about looking nice then. I have some crappy Ford rims with the big radials on it. The So
what tyres do you run when you're, like at roll racing? What are they?
So they're Hoosier 275/40 17s.
Yep.
They're really good. I ran Mickey Thompson's before that, and I personally didn't rate them.
Yep.
I just found that they didn't have as much flex in the sidewall, and they just spun up.
Was that the ET Streets or?
Yeah, the ET Streets. Yeah. To be fair, the ones I had were kind of old, and they after a while they do get hard and old, and they're not really that usable. So that could have been a problem with it as well. But the Hoosiers hook up fantastic. I can't fault them at all. When I went just recently to the roll racing event, I had no slippage at all the whole time. So it was great because the time before when I went, I just spun everywhere. And I lost practically everything. So, but no, they're awesome.
So you were saying you've got the tail shaft. Have you done the diff, or is the diff still stock?
No, diff is still stock as well.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
And how long have you been going on this setup? Like with your 700, 600?
So the 700 setup has been since 2018 now. So it's getting into end of 2018. So it's getting into like 2.5 years now.
Yep.
But before that, it was running 600 as well on E85, and it's been doing that for now for 4 years over 4 years.
That's impressive, man.
Yeah, it's to be fair, I baby it a fair bit, like because I drive
again,
it
it's
daily,
how you drive it and look after it.
But like it's just set up like, and Rob knows that I'm going to daily it, so he's set up to be like perfect. Like it's just very linear, doesn't like just go in and bang and ruin everything. But no, it's going fine. Like there's literally been no faults with it. So very happy, very very impressed with it.
Yeah. It definitely does a good street car, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this one. But yeah, thanks, man, for showing us the car. It really is beautiful, and the credit to you.
Thank you.
Plus, it's the pick of the colours, in my opinion. Like, I love the black, but it's just too hard to keep clean, and this really does pop in the sun.
Yeah,
it's really gorgeous.
Love the colour, definitely. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all.
The ride.
Yeah. Hopefully, I get to do a few roll racing events against you, man, in the future. That's going to be good.
Keen for that. Yep. Keen to see your car out and about soon.
Yeah, it's good, man. Alrighty, guys.
Thanks, mate.
We'll catch you in the next one.